I mean, that mid game could be very, very difficult for Secret.
Secret are going to be looking to kind of outmaneuver ASUS.POLAR, and they've got the heroes that can kind of look to try and do that. You've got the, I mean, you mentioned the recall, the Keeper Alive to move heroes around the map. You've got Queen of Pain, who's pretty elusive and can catch people by surprise. Clockwork, a similar thing. Teams have not been having to deal with this hero for quite some time, so has got a way of interrupting like some of the magic immune kind of ultis, like a Shadow Fiend going for a BKB Requiem, jug through his Blade Fury if you're trying to gank him, he's trying to Blade Fury TP out, so got a pretty handy spell to have in general. Here we go, game 1 of a best of 5. Haven't got to cast a best of 5 in some time.
Me neither, actually. I'm trying to think back, and
Major All Stars was meant to be best of 5.
I was just thinking that. I was like, that was the last best of 5 in my recent memory, but it was turned to a best of 3. So
turned into a 2-0 stop.
And it was one of the fastest best of 3s we saw in that tournament. So, all right. Game number 1. Let's introduce some rosters here. Radiant side. You got ASUS.POLAR, FNG here on the Lion. G will take the Shadow Fiend to the mid lane. It'll be Lil supporting on the Lina. Off lane, it'll be Sadoy on the Axe. And safe lane, we've got Illidan Stormrage. He's here on the Juggernaut. Big sword ready to slap.
The Dire side, S4 going to be going mid lane on the Queen of Pain. We've got Zai playing the Clockwork. Keeper of the Light in the hands of Puppey. Up towards the top lane, Rubik, Kuroki, and Arteezy on that Warlord.
Okay.
30 seconds to battle.
Battle begins here for the initial runes. Looks like both teams will actually make a go at the top one. Could end up being slightly explosive. It's just Illidan down in the bottom lane looking for that bottom bounty. Looks like Zai will rotate his way down as well. Will claim this top bounty rune.
Looking like it's going to go the polar way. For
both sides,
see them come in and
pretty good vision.
off.
I don't know. Secret, they've got some reinforcements coming in. Puppey, he'll channel up the Illuminate, but they do hand it over. G gets the bounty rune. Now Kuro initiated on Light Strike Array on 2. Uh-oh, first blood gets drawn by Will. G on the run, but he falls as well. An early 1-for-1 is now Puppey trying to make it to the high ground. Will get caught by the Battle Hunger, and he will end up going down to the likes of Axe.
Blink for 2 seconds here. S4, Light Strike Array could put him in some trouble, but no, he gets the blink out. Lil maybe could have gone for it a bit sooner, but be back towards the mid lane. He got the bounty rune, so did get that extra bit of gold boost. Could still get a pretty well-timed bottle despite dying. Bottom lane, it was the Clockwork forcing out a Blade Fury and getting the other bounty rune. So a bit of a 50-50-ish trade, probably slightly polar favored with the extra kill.
Yeah, absolutely. They were the ones to draw the first blood on the Lina, so she got credit for that first kill and found a fair bit of bonus gold. That'll be early boots for her, I think, most likely. Sadoy, he'll be solo off lane. There's already a lane ward down with Kuro coming in to harass him back. Telekinesis right into Arteezy. Get the other lane, and he'll be Zai versus 3. Both teams with a 1-1-3 setup here. Fairly standard, really nothing too crazy.
Lina's just pulling and stacking and getting the jump arm going. Bottom lane, they tried to go in the Clockwork, but another nice cogs from Zai pushes the Juggernaut back, burns his entire mana pool, and forces out an early clarity.
Okay, it's not so bad. He has pretty good lane control. Honestly, right up at the tower, already finding level 3 on Clockwork. Great start there. Sadoy finding a comparable amount of experience, but I feel like he's just taking a lot more harassment. Zai actually farming okay too. Wow, 6 last hits on those first couple waves.
Cancels the clarity with a rocket flare too. Another nice thing you can do. But then not going to have too much fun. Doesn't even get back up to full mana.
Oh, and he gets mana burn here onto FNG. Takes a light strike away, but you can hit somebody with cogs. That's a pretty worthy trade. Ooh, gets hit by another. Lil on the high ground. Level 1, no follow-up, and Zai will still get the bounty.
Zai just doing really well. Has the boots, and with the second bounty rune he's got in this game, has got level 3. He may want to go back to base here now that he's out of regen. The lane isn't really pushing out in his favor, but got a lot out of this lane ready. Pretty good position to just heal up a bit and then just keep XP and farm as he can.
Puppey, work in the jungle. This is one of the great things about Keeper of the Light. Yeah, one of these supports that can actually farm pretty damn fast. Mud Golem's not going to allow him to farm as well as he would like, but keep spamming out the neutrals here, chew through these clarities, and this ends up being a slightly more static game and converts into kind of a farm fest. Slight edge. Puppey could be looking for a decently timed mech, maybe thinking about an Aghanims at some point, and just Force Staff. Lots of different items you can grab on this Keeper Not a hero you normally think of as a great farmer, but similar to that Crystal Maiden, that she can surprise you with how quickly items will come this hero.
Level 3 from some jungle camps, and now he's going to farm the small camp, so he's just being efficient. I mean, playing this stacky play, this Chenro's Enigma, and just getting his levels and farm as needed. Good smart play, because there's no one in that off lane. Axe is completely rotated to the jungle. Try working his Sling Dagger over there, and Keeper Light, not really a hero that you don't want to pressure the top lane, because if you push out the top lane, that's when like a support like a Lion or Leon just TPs up and gets free XP. So they're going to keep the lane control for now, at least until Arteezy has like boots and a Ring of Aquila, and then maybe they consider pressuring the team tower. But for the most part, just being efficient, using their jungle, and keeping it a better way to play it.
So how's the mid lane doing? I haven't really checked in on it too much, but it looks like S4 is finding the better of it, 22-5 versus the one Shadow Fiend. So off to a pretty good start for S4, about what you would expect, but it seems like kind of besting G right now. I feel like Shadow Fiend at this point should start to, pardon me, pull ahead a little bit. S4 stay aggressive.
Shadow Fiend now with level 5 can at least use the raises to get most of the farm. Shouldn't be getting out-farmed from here on out, but I guess the first few creep waves just took some time to get his souls. His bottle was slowed down by the fact he died at level 1 and had to buy a TP scroll. Small things not going his way. Doug
put up with the troll. They were within 1 or 2 less hits of each other, both of them essentially free farming at this point. Zai had a little momentum in the lane earlier on, but now he's just trying to interrupt the support.
Well, there's 3 heroes here on Zai.
This will be a little rocky. He will just TP out. I think this is the right call. Light Strike Array on cooldown. Trying to run for it. Probably not have been
along his way top lane, so this is kind of the free XP I mentioned that a support can get should they try and push this. They haven't got the best ring as well, not Arteezy, so he'll get FNG at least up towards like his level 3, partially to that level 4. Smart move from Polar, just to switch heroes up here and even get some last hits on your...
Not too bad. He won't linger he won't linger around for too long. Oh, it is a little bit tricky for the Lion. Wants to leech any XP he can, but if he moves up here and then ends up dying, it's all for nothing and actually gives away. The Doi, he's doing all right in the jungle. 700 gold after his Tranquil boost, so at least found that baseline to get some momentum going in the jungle. Looks like back up a few camps. You can tell
they're going for a kill. G.
Oh wow, okay, Sonic Wave, that'll finish him off.
Puppey was just setting up with an Illuminate. G knew that Queen of Pain with a Sonic Wave Scream can't get the solo kill, but that's a level 2 Illuminate, giving an extra bit of burst damage. Really nice play and positioning for Puppey.
So that setup there. He's looking at Zai in the jungle. You can tell he really wants to try and do something with this axe, but just can't quite make it happen. Jukes a Light Strike Array, nicely done, but now takes an Omni Slash and a crit to follow up. That wasn't a first hit crit. I think he still falls, but that just made it look too easy for the Jug.
Puppey coming in the jungle, get some good vision down here. They're going to look to probably punish the axe at some point. With a smoke play coming out from like a Queen of Pain and a Keeper, or even the Clockwork can try and swing on in. Clockwork though still some ways to go before he's level 7. Like, Keeper there's happy with what they're getting elsewhere on the map. Arteezy going to be looking to get a T1 top tower. Glyph's already been used, and no one's been defended.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Easy tower, I think expected for ASUS.POLAR. No surprise that it was down pretty quick, but the Troll, I guess that's a fairly even trade. He gets that tier 1 tower early on, but Illidan, he gets that kill on the Clockwork. So both of them finding a little bump in their net worth, and the Troll actually way ahead though, up by about 600 net worth over Illidan. I guess he's about 8 CS ahead. The tower's just a little more valuable.
The tower's, yeah, getting the last on the tower is quite a good chunk of gold there, and just the 1 kill for your Juggernaut. Well, Puppey will linger around in the bottom lane now. Looks like he's had enough in the jungle to at least get those initial levels. He now finds level 6 and keeps Zai safe. A multifaceted win here, making space for Zai, but also reducing space for this Jug to farm. We see Illidan has to walk all the way back to the well. Good rotation. Very low here in the jungle. Gets scattered by a rocket flare and just backs off immediately. They could have maybe swooped in with Puppey to go for this kill, but
Radiant's bottom tower
it's not going to be the case. Puppey going to steal the farm though. That's actually going to work.
Happy to take those 2 big creeps, prized gems there. Gunning down Sadoy's farm a fair bit though. He's still making the best out of this rocky situation. 1,400 gold, 2/3 of the way to the blink in 7.5 minutes. That's pretty good for the axe.
Yeah, that's really good for an axe here. Just lost a couple hundred gold from that neutral steal, and exactly get much while he was in the off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Secret now, they're going to use this really strong kind of group up they have at bottom lane. The Keeper of the Light really hard to find to illuminate. As for the DD rune, not just the team on top thing again, it looks like this bottom tier one can go down uncontested. Dice.
FNG hanging around nearby in the tree line, but he's only level 4, so if they scout him out,
mid
he
lane
should die.
has raises.
Thinking about it, line it up on Kuro. Tower will fall bottom on contested line. Tucked in that tree line. Raise number 1. Okay, we're only going to get 1. A little lackluster from G, but still good space to farm.
If you kind of walked up close and you can get that close Z raise, you could maybe... Didn't come his way.
Okay. Rubik level 4, Kuro just trying to leech mid to get that level 6. So a big milestone there for the Rubik. That lifesteal online. He's 1,000 gold off the Kuro just for a very fast blink deck. Can honestly be devastating against some lineups.
Doesn't need the... I mean, there's already Arcane Boots on Puppey. You've got Chakra from Puppey as well. There's no mana problems for the team really as a whole. So either the fast blink or maybe you could stop off the Urn of Shadows. Just extra heal, potential nuke.
Like they'll recall the Clockwork towards the mid lane.
Rushing or are they fighting?
I think they're fighting. Clockwork not yet level 6 though. Seems like an odd time to do this without a hook shot, but they will try to defend their tier 1 up top. I see Illidan getting a lot of space in on that Mask of Madness, and they do want to punish it, of course. That's 4. With a Sonic Wave available, does give him quite a bit of kill potential. See what they can do. Pulls into the camp here. That'll break the smoke. He'll try to TP home. That one will get interrupted by the telekinesis. The Judge will be able to spin and TP home. No way to stop it. So big rotation yields only 1 kill. Less than ideal for Secret, but I think they'll take it.
He went into the Radiant jungle with his smoke. And the ward protects him here, so he can actually farm this well. Though no Blink Dagger yet, won't be able to catch up to Arteezy. And just being on this side of the map, you've got Ancients to farm. You've got like the Radiant jungle if it's safe, so not a bad place for Arteezy to be.
Farm still quite impressive. Number 1 on net worth, so about 800 up on the Shadow Fiend. And speaking of Shadow Fiend, she will go this mech build. I'm pretty sure he's got a buckler here, courier. Yep, he sure does. So no Yules, which farm won't be quite as fast as it could be, but this early mech means ASUS.POLAR will be able to group up and team fight a little bit earlier than you may have otherwise expected. So they are gearing up for a slightly more aggressive mid game here, maybe in anticipation that Secret try and turn it up a little.
Not going the farming build, I feel like Polar need to use this to great effect, because right now Secret are getting so much more out of the map. They're being more efficient with their just jungle and Keeper of the Light. They're farming their jungle better. They're farming their Ancients. It's a 3,000 gold lead, even though it's 3 kills apiece. I guess you've got the towers also going Secret way where they push the tier 1 bottom and top, but in general just being a lot more efficient, getting more value out of the map.
2 tier 1 towers is definitely not worth 3k net worth. There's a little more to it than just tower kills. The ASUS.POLAR try to get aggressive here in the mid. Lion level 6, Lina only 5. Hex to get things started. Zai ding 7 before he goes down, but go down he will. Lina gets credit for the kill. G even throwing in some raises there. Make it nice and trying to get him a little...
Kills is going to be the plan for kind of turning things around here. For Sidoi, his Blink Dagger timing is going to be the big tempo controlling item that ASUS.POLAR gets. That and the Finger of Death in the line. Right? Line is about hitting that level 6 and using the Finger as frequently as possible to find kills, ideally on core heroes, your Queen of Pain, but even the supports, there's a 3k net worth Keeper of the Light who's worth a Finger.
Look at that burst damage on G. I don't know why he didn't Sonic Wave that. S4 would have been really close. Not enough damage for the kill, but a Sonic Wave with another auto attacker too. That is a dead Shadow Fiend. But they let G walk away, and they will deny the tier 1 tower mid. So enough victory there for Seek. Or invading the jungle, Rocket Flare.
Spotted out the Blink Dagger on Sidoi's.
Okay.
So they Observer Ward, and I think just the heroes coming near. So they know this Blink on Axe is up, and that likely the Polar side is going to look to use a Smoke Gang to get their Finger, and this Blink Axe can fall. Probably Secret just ringing some alarm bells like, look guys, be ready for this. Don't let Polar start snowballing off of hero.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the right... Now that Lina's level 6, they've got even more kill potential than double burst. They didn't need the Finger for that kill mid, so they've got Laguna and Finger available with Blink Axe. This is a very scary time for Secret. This is a time to not get a kill if you're ASUS.POLAR. Basically, one of those ults in a Berserker's Call, and you're in Tully Blade threshold.
You're just being kind of the the wards right now. He's just seeing this mid lane, kind of protecting things. Will get caught out from behind, but this is creating space for his team to get a Roshan. This is kind of an acceptable loss for Secret. That's a 3-hero smoke with the Blink Axe. I guess the Finger and the Laguna weren't put on cooldown, but you get that scouting information to your team, and Secret will take an Aegis out of it.
They also hand over that tier 1 tower in the top lane to the but Arteezy will drop his massive, and that's an Aegis of the Immortal now in the hands of the Troll Warlord as his farm can press net worth graph, starting to level out just a little bit. As for, he will go Orchid first this game on the Quap. First, Oblivion Staff is in the inventory. Quest for the second with 1,300 gold to boot. Not so far away.
Puppy's just farm. Arcane's mech, he's out farming your Clockwork of Zyra.
He's almost out farming the Axe as well. He's pretty damn close. Nipping at his heels. Mech and Arcane's 100 gold to
Here just finds fun. Jungle it up, you're often pushing out lanes, defending towers, and suddenly you've got 61 CS and you've got a couple kills for your team. Not just that, he's level 10, so he's got the maxed out Illuminate, the maxed out Chakra Magic.
Yeah, that's the other thing with the farm that I guess gets overlooked. It's easy to get caught up in the inventory, but you look at the other supports, Rubik's level 6, Lion and Lena both level 7, then you've got this level 10 Light. They seem to be the aggressors here, though. They will be tier 2 in the bottom lane. Polar nowhere to be found. They're up at the top, maybe thinking about having to go at this tier tower here.
Good place for them to be on the map too. They've got that ward deep in the enemy jungle. This is kind of the safer place for them to find farm on the other side of the map. So Secret go group up the bottom. They're already in position to group up the top, take a TP tower and farm this enemy jungle. The Secret do not want to let this go. They're signed to TP in.
Yeah, they'll win the race here. The battle trance makes it pretty easy. They've already used their glyph. They have to defend soon. They'll get here just in time. Illuminate clears out the creeps. Now Illidan looking for an Omnislash target. He's level 11. But if you white close, Arteezy will fall. It's the end of your Aegis. Now Puppy caught by the Finger. Kyle will go down. S4 as well. Got to beat the double. Now Arteezy on the run. Like his Mama's Berserker's call. Stunned up and killed. It's a 3-0 in the top lane. Wow. Failed defense from Secret. Not a single buyback. Oh, and Artour has one, but there's no glyph. This is a tier 3 tower.
Artour's got no TP as well. His TP, I think he self-cancelled it because he was worried that he was TPing into an Omnislash. And 15 minutes in, Polar just suddenly say, great, we just took out the Keeper and there's not enough buybacks. We can maybe get a range rax.
Artour will buy back. And I think he absolutely had to there. Hook shot from Zai to maybe catch one on the retreat, but
not as much.
Back out, doesn't interrupt any TP.
Wow, that's just the power. These heroes are all coming online at the right time. This is where Jug gets really strong. He was level 11, so had level 2 Omnislash with Mask of Madness Yasha, your Axe just with the Blink Dagger and the Vitality Booster, your SF with the mech timing. We talked about making the mech do something because they were kind of behind by about 3,000 gold, and well, that's about as good as it gets you in a big team fight. Take a tier 2 and a tier 3.
Yep, that's more than something. I don't even think they had to use the mech there. They did. I don't think I caught it.
Just like to heal up like an Illuminator or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a big turnaround.
It wasn't even a game-changing mech. It was
team fight was just stomped.
Yeah, it was just a big misplay from Secret. They were not expecting ASUS Polar to advance that quickly. Lena didn't even use that Finger of Death that they need. They didn't even need the Laguna. So, like you mentioned, Clockwork. Forced to do it the old-fashioned way and walk back to the base. So advancing at the graph once more, about 3k net worth lead for ASUS Polar, 4,000 XP. They are now feeling in good shape. They've taken control of this lane and they will clear out their jungle as they continue farming. DKB on the way from Shadow Fiend, about 400 gold off for him, so he's getting pretty close. Goy, he went back for Vanguard after his blink, but here you go. Secret still finding some item progression. S4 will get an Orchid. Good timing here. I feel like this is another item where he needs to get something done. He needs to find some pickoffs. Also level 11 with that buffed up Sonic Wave makes that a little bit easier.
Secret kind of shine when they're just sitting back, throwing their big burst nuke damage from afar. You've got Fade Bolt, Illuminate, Sonic Wave, Rocket Flares can add on to that. They've got tons of nuke damage which they can throw without putting themselves in harm's way, but defending towers like an outside tower like that tier 2 is where you can't really sit back. There was too many kind of angles that the Polar side could just think from. So they need to probably prioritize going for smoke ganks like this and then defending the high ground. It's like a unfruitful strength into the enemy.
Possibly though. Boy, if they keep going on this path, but no, they won't even hold the high ground. They're just looking. pick. And knowing that ASUS.POLAR are all off the map, afraid to perhaps get caught unaware. The end of this invasion from Crit. Got out the Ancient. It's all Juggernaut farming there. Not going to find anything.
Again, Polar just make their way into the enemy jungle, find the farm they can there, and they've got that Radiant Ward still up, which was missed by the Sentinel. So they're kind of getting great map control here in their own way.
There's also a gem up on the line.
I like
Make a difference.
Before he didn't even go for the fast blink dagger here. He bought this himself, said, look, we're just going to move around the map and use map control to take objectives and towers. The lack of the active initiation from the blink dagger is enough for us right now.
Is under attack.
Yeah, well, smoke.
Surprising move that they won't expect.
Gonna walk right into it. They put the ward down, but the smoke doesn't get revealed until they hold the high ground. It's a good everyone. And more Sonic Wave as well. Secret just getting completely destroyed. It seemed like they had an okay setup, but it's a fast 4 for nil. Everyone on ASUS.POLAR still topped off. And now Secret on the run. That was just...
That 4-hero call, I think, into like a 3 or 4 hero impale with like double raises.
Oh.
Everybody grouped up on that ramp. Oh my gosh, that's so like, even though Secret saw the SF, they didn't see everything else that was coming their way. And once that axe gets, he just blinks into the high ground, kind of blind, but he knows Secret's there. He's not expecting it 4, he's expecting to hit at least 1 or 2, but even 1 or 2 heroes, Polar's still in that fight. The fact they got 4 means that they just crushed the fight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
My eyes were on the Sonic Wave. That was when I said, oh, this is going to be big, and then his friend died.
That was the only hero not caught in the call, was that Queen of Pain.
Exactly right. Everyone else on Secret just got annihilated here. I mean, continue on these slides, goes in onto the back line. Nice rounds though from Zine to push him back. Now the rest of it. Now the range barracks. These Impales are winning the fights. They drop the Laguna Blade on the Clockwork. That'll bring him down. Now S4, no ultimate here.
Radiant's
with
top
the Orchid
tower
on the way up.
is under attack.
I was just thinking the same thing. They will silence onto Sadoy, so they won't be able to, or he won't be able to use the Berserker Stall. Now G may be in trouble. There we go. They'll get the kill on Luna. ASUS.POLAR over command, and it's Secret that punish it. 3 down. It's Sadoy with nowhere to go. Will try to move into the trees. He falls as well. A lot of streaks ended, and that was the fight that Secret needed to bounce back here. That's a 4,000 net worth gain.
Oh, completely wrong. I eat my words. They do want to chase. That silence on the Axe was the big... If Axe was able to turn and blink call, Polar at least break even or maybe win another fight. But S4 clutch Orchid onto that Axe there as they chased. That Axe was getting ready to turn and just fight some more kills.
So scared when they were going up to that high ground. Axe was standing on the high ground. That was a very smart play from the Axe. I think that was the right way to do it. S4 was just ready and waiting. So well played on both sides, but this go around it is Secret that find the better of it. No, S4, is he in trouble? Who's the one that's actually in trouble here? Silences Lina, but then there's that Axe from FNG. Now the Earth Spike from Zai. Laguna Blade available, won't be able to get it off. Sonic Wave. Win for the most part, but they still get FNG as well as Lina. Lina hits Zai, but now she's still pretty healthy. Illidan TP's in. Arteezy just clobbers him down. Now Sadoy. ASUS.POLAR, they were taking this game, and now they're crumbling. A 4-0 in the mid lane. Back-to-back failed fights for ASUS. Secret really turning this game around. That's a 3,500 net worth game.
That was a heroic hook shot from Zai saving the Queen of Pain, because the Lion chain stun S4 just long enough that Lina was going to get unsilenced and hit the LSA to kill off. That would have been a goal on S4, but that hook shot was perfectly timed when it needed to capture Lina as she was passing the LSA and pass the other way. All right.
I mean, look at this gold grab. It's created that peak there. Secret bouncing back behind about 2 gold. They have leveled out the XP. They take the tier 2 tower mid, and even though they did lose their top ranged barracks in that tier 3 tower, they've taken a lot of other objectives. They still have a tier 1 standing in the bottom lane. Now only 1 outer tower remains for ASUS.POLAR. It's just tier 2 in the top.
The big item progression is going to come out. You get your 4 staff on your Clockwork. Your Queen of Pain gets up to 4k gold, so possible Aghanims, BKB. I'm not sure. I'm wondering maybe the BKB this game. I guess Troll's got just finished his BKB, but I think an Axe BKB is pretty solid here.
Not a fan of the spike this go around.
You're against Lion plus Lina. Like, you need magic immunity, and he's going to get the BKB. You can get Hex as like your 4th or 5th item.
I guess that's true with Lina as a support. The BKB is a lot more tempting because she's not getting an Aghanims anytime soon. And here you see she'll go for Strong Endurance first, and may even want like a 4th staff or something after this. Request for Aghanims be.
Radiant's top
With that
tower
said,
is under
yeah, maybe
attack.
you're right. The BKB is the right call, even though you've still got Omni Slash. Oh yeah, there it is. BKB picked up by S4. So you're right, sir.
They're going to be like losing just the range Rex at top is
Dire's
good
bottom
news. There's a
tower
melee
is
Rex
under
this early
attack.
on and put them in a bit of a tough spot. They'd have to constantly deal with the pressure from the super creep lane, but it's not really happening with just range Rex lost. And they can be trading the Super tower top for apparently just a tier 1 at bottom.
Dire's
The big
bottom
problem's going to be
tower
if they
has
give up
fallen.
Roshan. It is a long Aegis respawn.
Radiant's top
Polar are
tower
hoping that
has
it respawns
fallen.
now, but it's pretty much that max duration respawn. Close to the dot.
Couple seconds short, but it's a long one. 2 tower in the top lane does fall at tier 1, the bottom. So team trade towers here. The dance around Roche, I think, will get a bit more intense as Secret start to make their way over. They've got to be aware of this timer. They've got a few heroes nearby. Remember, Puppy can always recall somebody holding on to that
Radiant's top
ultimate.
tower
Try to do
is
some
under
TP on the Rubik, and there's also a TP on Arteezy. See how much damage they can get done here, and they will force Aces forward to react. Jug will be the hero to TP back, well as the Lion, and that'll be enough for Secret to find at least a positioning victory there, as everyone pinging out Roche has now responded.
Okay, we'll see Secret. They're poised around that pit. They're smoked up. They're going in, but Polar have got to expect this. They're pinging it out already, and they've got 5 nearby. This is good.
And they don't have vision, though. They're assuming Secret are in the pit. It's the right assumption, but here we go. Charging in Illidan, hit by the cogs to get things started. Walks right into the Omni Slash. It's only level 2, but will start moving around. Queen of Pain with a quick step ult. She isolated with a BKB on. Luna gets the taste of her own medicine. A stolen Laguna takes her low, but it's Secret that are falling quickly. Clockwork and Troll fall. Now the Quap goes down as well. It's Aegis Polar that take the fight, but all 5 still alive. Aegis of the Immortal now picked up by the Juggernaut, and they're not done quite yet. Rubik goes in to finish off the Shadow Feed, but it'll be the cost of his life. Axe gives him the slam dunk decapitation. A 1 for 4 when she's all said and done. Puppy will limp back to the base.
Out of there, that's another big fight for Polar here. They just have the items they need. The Manta from the Juggernaut with the Mask of Madness. He got in with the Omni Slash, and Queen of Pain again makes a nice play, silencing up the Axe here. Axe is, until he gets his BKB, he's getting silenced every time he tries to come in for a blink ball, but these fights are just going to get even worse for Secret when Axe does have that BKB, because then he doesn't have to worry about the Orchid Silence slowing him down.
Right around the corner, man. He's a couple creep kills away from picking up that big one.
Secret just seems to be missing that little bit of team fight, that bit of lockdown here. Picking Keeper of the Light as their secondary support, it was great, like as far as getting a ton of farm, getting the mech up. But you've got a Rubik, a Keeper of the Light. The team fight is kind of lackluster. Rubik can steal some kind of spells in a fight, like even if you steal a Finger or Laguna, you add some extra damage, but you're still lacking that control, that big kind of AoE stun or initiation like on the side. The Blink Call, even when it doesn't come right away, offers a lot. Then you've got the FNG has been hitting 2-3 heroes with all these impales. Lina, you've got stuns from there, so a lot of lockdown on the ASUS.POLAR side, which Secret just seems to...
He catches the door in the jungle here. Kuro. Heal. Actually, the culling play, that's not bad. They jump onto the Lina there. He'll fall. Nice hook shot from Zai once more. Hero they started on, but they will find it. G in the mid lane now looking to initiate it on. Puppy and S4 on their way in. They hit him with the Mana Leak. And that was for
BKB.
S4 to go blow for blow. Yeah. He's beefy though, man. He's looking for that Scotty. Both ultimate orbs picked up. They cannot intimidate G, at least not right now.
Calculated play from G, didn't waste his 8-second BKB. Panicked and held his own there, and now his mates nearby at the ready, so... Axe is about 100 gold away from a BKB. With that online, Polar probably going to look to push out these lanes and go for maybe another smoke and try to find another good favorable team fight. He's got the Aegis for a decent amount of time here, about 2.5-3 minutes left, so they'll make their move out.
I think they want to make pretty good. Illidan is the carrier. He just hit level 16, so now that Omni Slash hitting its next peak bounces, and this is when Jug is really, really... He also hits quite hard. It's like probably a Scotty for him on the way also. Ultimate Orb number 1 picked up, already has them in. ASUS.POLAR now just trying to really bulk up, be able to just tank through that sonic wave and not be susceptible to the burst damage that the troll can put out.
All bulked up. Guardy complete for your SF, your BKB for your axe. Their item timings are just kind of big item game changer. S4's BKB is nice, it helps keep him alive, but it's not gonna
not quite the same as an axe who just wants to jump in there and needs the magic immunity.
It's like the troll needs another item. He needs his Skadi on top of what he's already got. Maybe even like the item beyond that, which would be like panic here. Your Blink Dagger is probably another big item to get if you're Arteezy here.
But look at Secret, they're just constantly splitting the lanes. Anytime ASUS.POLAR gets close to the Dire base, they're putting on pressure. And have that recall to make things a little bit more interesting perhaps. Both Arteezy and S4 holding on to KP scrolls now as ASUS.POLAR goes for the low-hanging fruit. It's the melee barracks at the top. Secret have a glyph here, but they want to use it for the melee barracks is the question.
That's a nice way out. They waste the Omni Slash there. Illidan thought he had Zai, didn't check his inventory for the Ghost Scepter.
A lot of damage going on that tier 3 tower down bottom. This is not a good trade for ASUS.POLAR. The melee barracks are still standing. Now Illidan's stunned up, and they don't really want to commit to this because he has the Aegis, but now the melee barracks taking a lot of damage down bottom. Sadoi TP's in. Arteezy making money for this, but S4's here. They use their BKBs. They focus the melee barracks. They will find some success at least. The troll goes down. S4 will fall, but he does get the barracks before he dies. Now back to the top side of the fight. Illidan looks like he hasn't died yet. A couple of supports left. They really want to push him back here, keep their barracks alive, and make this fight all worth it. Now S4, he will buy back another stun onto Illidan. There's your Aegis. And they kill him twice.
He's got the Manta for the Orchid here. Hold on to it, and I'll actually force to use it. Late through, no TP out. Illidan is in some trouble here.
S4 has the Orchid. And he's not even going to use it. Illidan starts chopping that wood. Queen of Pain just barely lives. Puppey down low but still alive. FNG with a negative earn. Puppey will die here. But what a trade for the Dire team. They hold the melee barracks up top, and they get a tier 3 and the melee down bottom, plus a pretty decent rate of kills. They get rid of the Aegis, they kill the Jug and the Lion, they lose their Troll, they have to buy back on the Quap. I think it's still an advantage for Secret.
Yeah, it has. This has just been some high-level Dota from both teams so far. Both teams making great decisions across the board. Secret responding to the 5-man coming in top lane. And Polar doing the smart thing. Rather than trying to just brute force mid lane, they say, look, if we keep going for this mid lane, they'll just spam it out with Illuminate, with Fade Bolt. Let's just bypass the... let's forget having a creep wave. The backdoor protection was down by just like a siege creep on the mid tier 3 tower. They go in for the top racks, but good play by Secret, being on the other side of the map, force the TPs, and then take the fight at top lane.
Now double damage rune up on G. What's the Rosh timer looking like? Still a ways off. Not sure how long it'll be. Till then, I think it'll be pretty quiet. Everybody just goes back to farming. Arteezy did die, but it was for the greater good, and now the quest for his Skadi starts to begin. First up, 2,500 gold. Not really that far away, to be perfectly frank. About 1,500 gold, and he's there. Looks like S4. He has the plate mail, so Shivas or AC. I would imagine it'll be the former, but time will tell.
Good game for Shivas, Jug, as well as SF, doing some pretty decent right-click damage, but neither stacking amazing attack speed. The Jug, when he's in Mask of Madness, he does, but this Skadi also gives you a little bit, but this will just negate a lot of that physical damage he has to do. Even in the axe, if you get caught by a Blink Call, the counter Helix damage being good general item for S4 getting.
Burrow, he's closing in on an Aghanims here, Gods. He's only 300 gold off.
There's so many good spells this game.
Oh,
You've been stealing Earth Spikes, you've been stealing Colored Blade, you get a Requiem this game, you get a Finger of Death.
This is actually an incredible Rubik game. Normally,
Slash.
Yeah, normally you look at ultimates, but 3 big ults that'll get upped by this Ags. Okay, that's good. And then on top of that, it's 3 good spells to steal.
The Axe ulti is probably the least useful of the 5, but even an Axe ulti is not a bad spell. So it's kind of hard for Rubik to use it because you're going to get him so close.
It's one of those 50-50. If you get to use it, it's amazing because you get the speed boost for your team, but rare that you'll... Usually when you get to use it, it's when the fight's already won or already lost, for that matter, I guess, if he's going to YOLO in into...
And outside of that, there's just so many good basic spells. Stealing Earth Spike, that's an AoE stun for your team. You steal a Healing Ward from a Juggernaut. Like, you've got such a short cooldown on your spell steal now with an Ag Scepter that It's great. You steal a healing ward, you just plop it down, then look for a new spell. Even if your healing ward gets killed right away, it's still not wasted time.
Yeah, that's exactly the key thing. It's easy to get hung up on what kind of upgrades are we talking about here? Even in games when there are no Ags upgrades, it can still be your go-to item on Rubik. Takes that cooldown from 14 seconds, or I think 16 seconds at level 3 to 2 seconds, and the radius. That's the other thing. Now Kuro can sit way, way, way back in these fights and still find pretty much every spell that he could possibly want to. Things just got a lot more difficult. Even though they are still itemizing well, there's your Scotty up on the
Their moves sitting behind Illidan in top lane. Don't think Secret kind of play onto him just yet. It's going to be a short Roshan respawn this time around, or at least relative to the last one.
Stroke got a minute past the initial timer. Radiant Satyr here that'll scout it out. He's got this Gosu ward on the high ground to give a lot.
Arteezy down near this bottom lane, so they know where Arteezy's. They're actually pinging out the jungle, saying, "Look, Arteezy's going to be here. Let's go for this pickoff." Doi's leading the way, and FNG with a full staff can quickly back him up. If they don't spot him in the jungle, they'll know he's somewhere down the bottom lane in the trees there. They know he has a TP, but he wouldn't head down bottom lane just to TP out. I guess he theoretically could, but...
Good game sense here from Arteezy. They will recall him. Oh, boy.
Very close.
That was a little close for comfort, Parker.
They were recalling him just so they could smoke with him as well.
Yes.
That was not like a let's recall him out of danger. That was let's recall him so we can go for a play.
There had to be a degree of danger. Everyone on ASUS.POLAR missing off the map. You could tell Arteezy was turtled up in the trees. But yeah, mostly so that they could rendezvous and smoke it. Still, they force out that BKB right away. That's your 90-second charge. Now the rest of the Radiant side start to intercept. Zadoi taking a lot of damage on the run. There's your Omnislide doing a lot of damage to Puppy. Oh, the RNG, it focuses him down, and he's dead with the rest of the Oh, this gets destroyed. Curl on the run. They still fall to Illidan. There's your telekinesis. What a disastrous play for ASUS.POLAR, though. A buyback from the axe. Now a hook shot from side to interrupt the Requiem through BKB. Nicely done. BKB Troll going to tank the Requiem, but not going to be too upset about it. Will just TP out. Zai getting left behind. 4 stack now. They just want to try to mitigate Zadoi getting any kind of cleanup kills. Kuro with the Requiem slows them down, creates the space for the TPs, and Secret get out. It's a 1-for-3 plus the buyback on the axe, who does not find any kind of recovery kill. That is costly to...
Kuro with the stolen Culling Blade dunked the axe. The movement speed allowed him to stay alive against the Juggernaut. Then he stole the Requiem. That was just really nice Rubik play coming out from Kuro. And well, Secret can be pretty happy with that fight. It does come around Roshan, but they don't get Roshan to follow. With the buyback, ASUS.POLAR still kind of at least in fighting shape, so they could make their way into that Roshan pit should Secret go for it. But that's going to be probably the next big fight coming up soon.
Yeah, most definitely. This is Roche 3, so Aegis Cheese ready for the claiming. Not going to hand this one over without a fight, at least. Now all the Scotties getting complete here, gods. There's 3 eyes of the Azure Drake in this game. Drake's had more than 2 eyes, but they're making it work. Put in, walks right into the pit. Dire side, they do not have any actual... They are lingering nearby, but Roche falls quickly. If they want to contest, they've got to do it now. Arteezy has a TP scroll, but they have the access point to TP2, setting up the Illuminate. You gotta go, Secret. They see how low Roche is. Zai hops in, drop it, won't be able to grab the Aegis, and he just gets juiced.
Stolen Laguna Blade, though. Not bad.
Okay.
Bad. It's an Axe Scepter upgrade. I mean, it's pretty damn nice, let's be honest here.
Oh, was Zai carrying the gem also? Oh, that makes it hurt a lot more.
Picked up a Quelling Blade off the ground. He saved Arteezy's Quelling Blade.
Oh, it wasn't for nothing. That's a pretty YOLO play there. It's tough.
Yeah, there's
hooking in like that. Even if you get the Aegis, it's a 50-50 play.
Yeah, you just died twice. I think if Arteezy has a Blink Dagger and can follow you up, it's one thing, but Troll not having that Blink initiation makes it really difficult.
Bottom tower.
And Troll can follow it up, but he doesn't want to blink in.
Kuro with the upgraded Lina ult. Wrecks the Lion.
Look for the Omni Slash.
Oh, he gets it. He's going to turn this around. Illidan now taking his own medicine.
Oh, to bring him down.
And then he blinks out, right? As he goes down, he's still going to fall to the dunk, but we can't forget about this mid-lane. Now a buyback from Kuro. Oh, they're going to try to go all in here. S4 and Arteezy killing Barracks mid. If Secret can hold on, this could be scary for the Radiant side. Buyback now from the Lion. This could be your final fight. Zadoi isolated. Big Sonic Wave from S4. Zadoi will survive the soul burn with his BKB, but will not going to be so lucky. G getting cleaned up as well as Arteezy has come back to the fight. There's your Aegis of the Immortal. G coming back to life. BKB's right away. Requiem right on top of Arteezy, but no, he gets bashed. Over the backboards in town, boys.
And Illidan's got no escape. He's trapped in the wheel. Clockwork going to keep him in place, and Illidan has no escape tools. He's already lost his Aegis. He's getting popped around, and down he goes.
Oh,
Secret
boy.
hold on.
That was a very bold play from ASUS.POLAR. They completely skip the tier 3 tower and go straight for the tier 4s. They don't even claim one tier 4 secret. They don't get the mid lane of barracks, but they force out a glyph and they clear the tier 3 tower. Now they make the call straight to the other side, boys. Let's get this lane of barracks. However, there are buybacks available for ASUS.POLAR. Every hero that's dead right now does have the gold for it.
Oh, they're going past. They want to go. They want to try and catch someone out here.
There were 2 buybacks used as well. Axe and Lion have theirs on cooldown, so if they get taken out in this little skirmish, they will be diebacks. Secret will able to do that with just 1 buyback used on the Ruben. So put Arteezy in the front line. There is some for now, but the creeps are on the way. Trying to make control. Down go the melee barracks. Range shortly to follow. ASUS.POLAR, they don't want to use these buybacks unless they have to, but they may be forced to.
Yeah. They're giving up possibly a third melee raptor top.
FNG and Sadoy hop in. BKB's top the play. Sadoy just not doing enough damage to Arteezy. The light stealer's there. Now the Omni Slash on the back line, taking Kuro down low, but it's a stolen Blade Fury. How unfortunate. Troll Warlord ends up going down. Now the rest of Secret starting to make their retreat. Puppy going blow for blow, but what a blinding light! Illidan stuck in the trees.
He's modeling to can't move.
And Puppy, they still make it out. What a play from the old man.
S4 meanwhile just finishing off a range track at the bottom. They don't get the top lane, but they still get a lot of damage done. Pulls down some buybacks, and that is just not buybacks that the Jug wanted to use at this stage of the game. SF as well. So Jug and SF, both the big carries, chew through a big.
And they only kill the troll out of it. That is one thing Secret have done so well this game, is get this team to buy back and then not give them anything from it. And that is what really hurts your economy. If you can buy back, find a killer to even get assists, it helps make a dent. But when you just buy back and you can't even farm for that duration when you have the debuff, that's scary on your team. Now Secret really pulling into the lead.
The gold graph is kind of showing that, but more than anything, it's just 2 lanes of full racks taken, and the Polar side just need to make a move somewhere and just find some clutch kills and turn it into multiple lanes of racks or that GG push on the throne they went for last time. But they don't really seem able to do that in a head-on 5v5 fight. Especially when Secret have buybacks of their own, which are up on the Queen of Pain as well as the Troll and the Keeper. 4 of the 5 heroes have buybacks.
Yep. Everyone except the Rubik. He's the only one on cooldown.
And he just bought a Ghost Scepter. He died like 2 fights in a row. He struggled to stay alive against the Omni Slash, so he says, look, I'm to get buyback. Ghost Scepter had it for me.
Yep, and also that Ghost Scepter on Zai, as we've seen. S4, he does not go for the Sheep Guard. He actually ends up looking for the Assault Cuirass. So just trying to mitigate some of that presence of the Dark Lord and also bump up the damage that his Troll can put out. Hey, not the worst right clicker ever either, so that does help buff up his damage. And of course, pushing structures gets that much easier. What happened to the Chief? Did that ever get picked up, or even I never really made note of it?
Initially on, was it SF, I think? The Jug, I think Jug had the Aegis and SF had the cheese, or vice versa.
Yes, it got eaten or sold or something. Does Octopus Man have it? No. Oculus Puss. Third Ghost Scepter out for Team Secret. Now Puppy joining the Ghost Club. That Omni Slash getting less and less potent by the minute here, it feels.
Feels kind of like they need like a diffusal blade on someone. We'll be going for, it looks to be a Skull Basher.
Right idea, having that lockdown with an Abyssal Blade. Great item on the Jug.
But Secret are playing things slowly for now. They are giving time for the buybacks to come back up on the other side, but 4 racks advantage and being on that dire side so that they can maybe take the next Roshan. They're feeling pretty calm. They're just responding well. I think that smoke was done under this Observer Ward vision. Yeah, FNG pops down the Sentry Ward. It's out of range though. And actually scout out the Diagram Ward, but I think that smoke was scouted out and then they pull out Arteezy.
Certainly do. Secret though, they're in this luxurious spot now with 2 lanes of barracks down. ASUS.POLAR have to keep heroes constantly in the base, so there's just really no rush. They can even wait out for next rush if they want. They know they can starve ASUS.POLAR, farm the map a little more efficiently, clear out both jungles, keep pushing the lanes in, and They really have the luxury of time at this point. Now the Shadow Fiend picks up a butterfly, so G will have a huge item. No buyback available, so no reason to pull up the gold for it. Good item pickup here. There is no MKB on the Troll, though Arteezy does have about 4,000 gold. Grab it as his next item. No, I reckon that Satanic will be around the corner. Fun and Illidan there, just holding back with the telekinesis and Illuminate, just giving him the love tap, letting him know that they're ready to fight if he steps too far forward, saying, stay in that base, Jug. This is what's going to happen if you come into our jungle. Your jungle is now ours.
Anything that's not your high ground is ours.
Yeah, yes.
You can stay on up there, but...
That right there was just one of those little, like, I just asserted my dominance, Jug.
Yep.
What are you going to do? I like those little plays when a team's ahead like that. You can get a little bit cocky and just make him run away from you.
Wait things out for the next Roshan.
Puppy also has the gem. Worth mentioning here. ASUS.POLAR lost their gem in that last skirmish, so no way for them to really move out of the base and get some vision. Good dire wards. Not the most aggressive warding from Secret, actually. They'll have one kind of near the Roche pit here at that entryway, a lane ward in the top, and then one to their access here into the jungle. So maybe relics of the past when they were more on the back foot. They also have one right in the middle of the base. So they do have some high ground vision, and somehow it dodged all these sentries. They took sentries down, thinking that they got this ward, but just look at that. It's in the sweet spot. There's like this little tiny. That's this ward's home. That is just painful. Because if you're Asus.POLAR, you think there's no way we didn't get that ward. Like we are safe in our base, and
we covered the all high ground position.
This little nibbler right here, this little guy, the hero ward.
That's kind of bad. Though.
It is.
That's something FND, when he watches this replay and sees what happens, he's just like, are you?
Yes. There's nothing else you can say about it. I mean, there's nothing else you can do.
It's not even really bad play. Like, he's proactive. He's just trying to cover all his bases. Gets the second sentry ward and everything. But
that little...
Consider a gem, and I guess the gem's back up, but that's just...
Oh, they considered a gem. He bought a gem. Yeah, he died, so...
It doesn't have money for another. I guess Lena could theoretically buy it, but...
Trouble. Natalie gets it started. Now they hop in. And very hard. He's on the BKB. Sadoy comes in with the Berserker's call. All right for now. Illidan low. Not okay. He goes down. Now Sadoy getting low. Arteezy takes the Laguna, but Queen of Pain just turns it around. He will channel a Requiem. Finishes off the clockwork, but a 1 for 4 already on his own. It's just G, the lone defender is alone. Axe the only one with a buyback here.
People got pulled into the counter Requiem. Bring down Evil with some help from his friend. Queen of Pain gets the last hit. Lena and Axe the only 2 buybacks available.
She gets a buyback now, but that's it. GG. Asus.POLAR tap out. I think the right call. No way they'll be able to defend the high ground against this. An intense game 1. Asus.POLAR put up
go back and forth.
One hell of a good fight. I think the only big misplay was that potential throne race. Can't even really call it a throne race because Secret came back to defend, but bypassing that bottom lane of barracks and just trying to go straight for the tier 4s, it sort of saved their mid lane because it called back Secret, but it came at a huge cost. They got completely annihilated, and then Secret counter pushed to eventually take the mid lane of barracks. I think they could have played that one a little more safe, go for the tier 3, just defend and extend the game a bit longer.
It was just such a crazy game. Like 15 minutes in, Polar were breaching the high ground at top lane, taking a tier 3 tower. I'm just like, they were behind in the early game. They were getting out farmed. It was like a 3k gold deficit. They definitely had the heroes. They were never really behind, but like they could turn things around with the Blink Axe, with the SF mech. But suddenly it's like, wait a second. Secret made that one big mistake when they tried to defend